Hey guys, it's Coach Gaglione here from GaglioneStrength.com. We got another strong lady on the line. We have Mindy here tonight. How you doing?
Hi, how's it going? Good.
Great. Thanks for coming on. For those of the people that are watching that don't know who you are, can you introduce yourself and where you're from and what you got going on right now?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Mindy. I'm from Mountain View, California, and I am a powerlifter. I compete in the 114 weight class, so 52 kilograms, and I've been doing that for a little bit over a year and a half now.
Very cool. Well, thanks for
Yeah.
coming on again. So I want to rewind a bit and just talk about how did you first get into lifting? Doesn't necessarily mean to be powerlifting, but how did you start strength training and what kind of got you into strength training in general?
I wasn't really like a really athletic person as a child. Growing up, I didn't really do a lot of sports and stuff. But getting into high school and then more so going to college, I just started going to the gym and doing like basic, like Mickey Mouse bodybuilding stuff. Like going to the gym and just do like biceps and triceps, and then kind of call it a day, you know. So not the most fulfilling workouts. Um, I joined the army, and then I think that has a lot to do with me like trying to stay physically fit, you know, trying to keep up with the big boys. And after that, I got a job at Stanford Hospital, and that's in Palo Alto. So I moved to Mountain View, and I was looking for a gym near me. So I literally Googled gyms near me, and then Boss Barbell Club was like a mile and a half away from my apartment. So I just kind of showed up one day and was like, "Hey guys, I want to see what you're all about." I had no idea it was a powerlifting gym. I had no idea who Dan Green was. I had no idea what powerlifting was, and I just walked in. And I think after like a couple of weeks of me being there, I started noticing that everyone there mostly did squat, bench, and deadlift, and I was like, "That's cool. That's cool, I guess." Yeah, that was my introduction into powerlifting. And then Dan would walk around and kind of just be like, "Hmm." at my at my lifts, and then I'm like, "Oh, fuck, what am I doing wrong?" So then I would get better, and so that's my introduction to powerlifting.
It's really funny you say that because I know with Dan sometimes like when he's like thinking and he's like you don't know like what he's thinking and he's kind of pondering before he speaks. So
It is,
I can kind of picture that. It's pretty funny.
yeah, it's the worst. Like sometimes I'll be like squatting, and he'll walk by and he'll be like holding a 2 liter of Diet Coke or something, and he'll be like, "So, you're trying to squat or?" Like, I was trying to. So yeah, he's a character. He's fun.
Yeah, totally. He's good people over there. So you end up at Boss Barbell Club. You start working out there. You know, what kind of made you decide I want to like actually kind of jump into this powerlifting culture and then do your first meet?
So when I first started at Boss Barbell Club, I had like once again no idea what powerlifting was. But Dan does write a program onto the board every day, and so you don't really get to see like what the pattern is. You don't really get to see like exactly what you're building up to. Like I didn't at least. But I would come in every day and just kind of do the workout, and then eventually the program kind of peaked you to do like a conservative max almost, and I got a good idea of like what my 1 rep maxes were for not powerlifting or for not really having an idea of what that was. And then around the same time that that program kind of piqued me, I was invited to watch Boss of Bosses 2. So I watched that. That was my first powerlifting meet, the first one that I ever saw, and it was insane. And I remember seeing like, a bunch of guys lifting like more weight than I thought guys could lift like ever. And then I remember seeing girls my size lifting more weight than I thought girls my size could lift ever. And I just remember thinking, you know what, I want to do that. I can be there. I want to be on that platform. I want people to be screaming at me, slapping me on the back, doing who knows what. I want to be in that mess. So I just, I got a little bit more serious about it after Bob 2.
Was there any like kind of like lifters like around your size or women that you kind of like looked up to that kind of inspired you to kind of like take it a little more seriously?
I think just through Google and just through Instagram, when I look at, female 52 kilogram powerlifters like, Jen Rotzinger, Marissa Inda,
Sure.
those are few people that I really looked at. Like, I think I stalked Marissa Inda, I think like every day since then. Just, she was like a freak beast. She's like so strong. And I just remember always thinking, like, there's this girl that's, like, my size, my shape, and she is, incredibly strong. Like, how can I get there? I want to get there. And I think it's cool. It's cool to have, like, a role model. And then I found, I didn't really find, but I started meeting other people who were in my area who powerlifted, and they were, like, around my same weight class. For example, Jenny Lee, or she's on Instagram as Jenny Len Lee. She's in my weight class, and we actually did our first meet together. And just like recently at nationals, she got first place in the juniors, and she squatted like 308 pounds, which is like insane to me, which is insane for a 114er in general. And I think like having role models that you know on like a more local level, and then having like role models that you just have like on social media, I think those are two really important things for me, because I'm like, well, if they can do it, maybe I can do it. I'm gonna try.
Great. So, how many meets have you done so far?
I have done 4 meets, and
And was the last Boss of Bosses the last one you did, or?
I actually did Worlds recently, so I'm now in off season, so that's cool.
Very cool.
But I've done 3 USPA meets. I did one at a gym in Elk Grove.
You said IPL Worlds.
Yes.
And how was that?
It was a crazy experience. I got second place, and I was so nervous that I didn't eat anything the entire day. Like, I was the most nervous that I've ever been for a meet, which is insane because I was probably more confident for this meet than I was for any of the other meets that I've done. And then, like, when it came down to it, I was just like a nervous wreck. Yeah.
So,
but it was really fun.
So, yeah, that's good. You had a good time. So, what kind of made you, like, was there ever kind of a point in time or, like, when you decided, well, I don't want to just kind of dabble in this. Like I said, you did Boss of Bosses meet on the Friday meet, and you said IPL Worlds, some bigger competition. Was there ever kind of a moment where you're like, I don't want to just kind of like do this recreationally, but I want to like take this to the next level and kind of be the best I could be?
I think the moment where I was like, I really need to commit was after I competed at the San Jose Fit Expo in May. And I kind of aimed for a number. I really wanted to get an international league total, so I aimed for that total. And then I barely surpassed that total. So I got my total, the one that I wanted. And then I remember checking my ranking on Open Powerlifting, and I was like number 12 in the USPA Open Raw 52 kilogram women like division. And then I was like, holy shit, that's my name on there. Like, I want to get that like higher. I want to be top 10. I want to be top 5. Sure. And then I just had a moment where I was like, if I really spend like a lot of time and energy into this, like really apply myself, I could probably get my name out there. I could probably be like that girl that like I thought of when I first started powerlifting, and I saw like a girl come on stage or on the platform, and I was like, holy shit, like she's super strong, and I want to be that girl to like other girls who potentially want to start powerlifting and then maybe don't want to start powerlifting.
Very cool. I love it. And
yeah.
What was I going to say? My train of thought. Oh, so my question was like, so being in the Army, like, were you always kind of like competitive about like trying to better yourself, or did that like kind of help you prepare yourself mentally a little bit? And have you always kind of been this competitive, and like where did that kind of come from? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
I think being in the Army definitely changed my outlook on everything, like not just like in being competitive, but like everything. But yeah, as far as like competitiveness, there's like so much competition in the military in general, like not just like in like physical training, but in like your job and everything. And we're in the Army, we're meatheads, like we make everything a competition. Like, hey, I bet you can't like throw your ammo can further than me, and then we'll just like throw ammo cans for like no reason. And like you're kind of like, out there with a bunch of guys with like your same mentality of like, I want to be the best. I came here because I'm badass. I want to be the best. I want to be the best. Like,
cool. And then, have you ever kind of experienced any adversity or setbacks, injuries, and if so, how did you overcome them?
Wow. So I think most of the people that I've met have been really, really supportive of me, and my goals in powerlifting. I think that, if anything, my parents are not happy about me powerlifting. They're not really happy about me swaying away from, like, the, typical like, feminine things, and they really wanted me to like be a little bit more on the not tattooed side and a little bit more on the like playing piano side and stuff like that. And like yeah, just like most of my family, I think they're like really traditional and they don't really understand like a lot of things I do in life. Maybe like one powerlifting and then getting tattoos, listening to metal and like things like that. But other than that, I've had like a couple of like injuries here and there, like none that were like I would say directly caused by powerlifting, but like you know, I think 3 or 4 weeks before Worlds, I got pes anserin bursitis. I think I said that right. I don't know, but it's like this knee pain on your inner knee, kind of below your knee, but it hurt really bad, and so I wasn't squatting, and that like really freaked me out for Worlds. And at one point, I was so discouraged that I almost dropped out of Worlds, and I think that's happened almost like every meet. So like Fit Expo, I was chasing a total, but I was really chasing a bench also, and I really wanted to bench 176. And throughout Fit Expo, I started to notice that I had a cyst on my wrist, and like you can kind of see it. Like I don't know if you can see it, like right there. It's pretty gnarly, and it was like way bigger, but then I kind of like popped it and drained it, so it's not as big. But you know, it just like made everything really painful to do. You know, everything except maybe deadlifts. And I wanted to drop out of that meet also. And so I think a lot of it comes from like small injuries and then like not having like the mental strength to like get through that, you know, to like continue and just like push through it. I mean, I did eventually and it was tough, but I think that's like the most adversity is like, it's like not like, oh, I have these injuries, so I'm going to stop. It's like I have these injuries. Do I have like the mental capacity and the mental strength to push myself through it and just kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel and, you know, have an optimistic outlook on it.
Cool. So I just want to kind of rewind a bit and talk about, I know you said kind of not having your parents' approval, you know, being a business owner myself and not like having a traditional career, totally like kind of understand where you're coming from. What advice can you give to like women maybe, or it could be anyone, like if maybe they don't have the support at home or support from their family and they want to do like, you know, they have this goal. What are some things that you've kind of done and how have you kind of mentally dealt with that to kind of keep pushing forward while, you know, not having that support?
Yeah, that's like so important, I think, because I've met a lot of girls who they come up to me and they're like, yeah, I really want to powerlift, but like my parents would kill me. I really want to get tattoos, but my parents would kill me. I want to do this and that, but my parents like, there's no way. And a lot of Asian girls, a lot of Asian women have contacted me specifically, and they asked me like, what did you do? How did you get through this? How did you like approach your parents, and how did you break it to them? And I think I hit a point when I was a little bit younger where I was like, you know what? This is who I am. This is what I want to do. And if my parents don't like it, then, you know, too bad. Like, what are they going to do? Like, stop loving me? Like, I don't think so. I'm their daughter, you know? And so every time I kind of, like, get into something new that I know they're not going to like, you know, I did metal shop in high school, and they did not like that. I started working on cars in kind of high school. They didn't like that. Just, like, things here and there that are a little bit more on the tomboy side that like they didn't like. I would just kind of bite the bullet and you know, have a really unpleasant conversation with them and just very politely and respectfully just say, this is what I'm doing, so deal with it. Sorry, like, you know.
Yeah, so just be yourself and not worry too much about what others think, and whatever happens happens. So cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally get what it feels like, you know, to be in that situation where you feel like you're scared to do something because your parents, you know, obviously they put a lot of judgment on you, or they just straight up tell you like, no, don't do that. And I think it's really unfortunate for like the girls who are going through that with their parents. Like they're like, I want to start powerlifting, but I think that my parents would discourage that. I think it's more important to think about you as an individual, as an adult. Like you have that freedom to make your own choice. And honestly, I think you should just keep in mind that your parents are not going to like stop loving you because you decide to start lifting weights. You know, that's obscene. That's, yeah, obscene.
Cool. Yeah, that's great advice for everyone listening. So next question would be if someone's kind of like on the fence of starting lifting, maybe they're like afraid of like getting hurt or just becoming too bulky or whatever the reason. If someone's on the fence about competing, what would you tell them? What advice would you give them?
Like if they are already like training and they
It
want
could
to
be like
compete.
getting into powerlifting, or maybe they want to do their first competition. Like, what kind of advice can you give someone that's just starting out, or they're looking to kind of get into strength training, getting into lifting?
Me personally, I'm a doer. So if I'm like interested in doing something, I'm probably gonna try and do it. Even if I'm a little bit hesitant, if I'm not really sure, like maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. But the cool thing about powerlifting is it's not like a tattoo where you're like, I really want to get a tattoo, so I'm gonna get a tattoo, and then the next day you're like, fuck, why'd I get a tattoo? It's kind of like powerlifting where you go into the gym and you're like, I want to start powerlifting, I want to go and powerlift, I'm gonna go to the gym and like bang out some squats. Like, you're not gonna wake up the next day and be like, fuck, why did I do that? Like, it's not like a permanent thing. Like, you
Sure.
might be sore a little bit. It's, big deal. But, my advice for people who are kind of on the fence about it is to just kind of, go into the gym and just try it out. Like, you'll never know if you like something unless you try it. I think it's also important to kind of keep up with, like, maybe, like, events that are in your area. Like, for me, powerlifting was introduced to me from people in the gym when I started going to Boss. And I was kind of interested, and I was doing the movements and kind of just going through the movements, and going with the flow of like the workout on the board, and not really doing it with like a specific goal in mind. But once I watched Bob 2, I was so motivated and so inspired that I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get on the platform. And I think that for a lot of people, they see powerlifting maybe on social media, they see it maybe on the internet, and they don't really see it like in person. They're not
Sure.
there like at the meet to pick up the energy, to pick up the support that you get from your
Yeah.
friends. And I think that's like so important. So, check it out, go to a meet, and then if you're interested, go to the gym. Try doing some squats, doing some bench, doing some deadlift. Can't be that bad.
Yeah, I think giving it a shot is great advice, and I think one thing that we kind of overlook: go watch a meet to see how it is, and like I said, see the energy. Maybe it is for you, maybe it's not, but and I think that's a good advice for any type of sport, or whether it's weightlifting, CrossFit, whatever it is, because maybe powerlifting is not for you, but something else is, and you kind of find whatever your passion is, and whatever kind of motivates you to get in the gym, stay healthy, stay active. That's a good thing. So, all right, very
Yeah.
cool. So Mindy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. It was great chatting with you. Where can people find more about you if they want to follow what you're doing?
I am really only findable on Instagram as Bacon and Biceps. Like, do not add me on Facebook. I suck at Facebook. I don't use Snapchat anymore, and like, I can't even keep up with like Twitter and stuff like that. So really, just Instagram, Bacon and Biceps, just spelled out exactly as it sounds.
Very cool. Everyone, bacon and biceps, two things that I love. So
Exactly.
definitely, definitely will remember that. So definitely give Mindy a follow. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this interview and it helped you, please share it. Please check out the links below. Drop a comment, show some love, and please give us a 5-star review. It helps other people find us. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.